Hello Stampers, and thank you so much for joining me today. This is Laura Buechler of Inky Fingers Papercrafting, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Nanaimo, BC. Now today I'm going to show you a technique I learned from another demonstrator in Victoria using the Stamparatus to create an amazingly realistic effect with this Birch background stamp. In addition to the Stamparatus, I'm going to be using the following inks and tools. Memento black ink, shaded spruce ink, blueberry Bushel ink, craft white ink, Crumb Cake ink, a 1-inch circle punch, the Nature's Beauty stamp set, and some Stampin Sponges. So the cardstock measurements for this card are as follows. I've got a black card base that measures 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Then I've got a layer of Crumb Cake that measures 4 by 5.25 inches. I've got a black panel that measures 2 1/8 by 4 7/8 inches. And a white panel that measures 2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And I've also got some scrap white cardstock. So I'm going to start by creating a scene with Nature's Beauty stamps on this white panel. Top 2/3 of this white panel with a blueberry Bushel ink. And then on the bottom third, I'm going to put the shaded spruce ink. Some of my scrap white cardstock, I'm going to use my 1-inch circle punch, and that's going to be the moon. Now I'm going to use these trees from Nature's Beauty and my black ink, and I'm going to stamp some trees on here, and I'm going to stamp them on the moon as well. Now I'm going to use this snowflake stamp from Nature's Beauty with the craft white ink and stamp some snow over the sky. Now I'm ready to tape down my moon. I'm going to line it up properly, well, as best I can. And with my other piece of scrap white cardstock, I'm going to stamp this, well, I'm not sure if it's a wolf or a fox. And I'm going to stamp it towards the top of this cardstock because I want to leave room on the bottom for the ground. And I'm going to fussy cut this out, but I'm going to leave the ground here to give me some flexibility with where I place this. Now you may have noticed in the catalog, in the holiday catalog, it says that Nature's Beauty is our difference maker stamp set. Now what that means is that $4 from every sale of this stamp set worldwide is donated to a mental health charity. Now in Canada, that charity is the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. And like I said, this donation is happening globally with different mental health charities for the different regional areas. And I think that's so wonderful that Stampin' Up! Is giving back in this way. We all have someone in our lives who's affected by mental health issues, so I really appreciate that Stampin' Up! Is recognizing this need. All right, so my scene is created. And now I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to show you the Stamparatus technique. So the Stamparatus is a truly amazing tool, and it allows you to do several different techniques. Now, if you're like me and you like to produce multiples of your cards, for example, if you happen to be getting ready to make a whole stack of Christmas cards, you're going to appreciate that you can line up your stamps once and then quickly and easily stamp your cardstock over and over and over, and it'll always line up perfectly. Now you can also do wreath stamping, reflection technique, hinge stamping, on and on and on. So the technique I'm going to show you today, I learned it from another demonstrator, Crystal Johnston, and I don't know what to call this technique, but I'm positive that you're going to love it. So I've got my Birch background stamp on one of the plates of my Stamparatus. There's also a place here that you can put the second plate, but we're not going to need that today, so I've left it off. And I'm going to line up my cardstock at this place. See this little red mark here I've made on my paper? I'm going to line it up there. And I'm going to ink up the stamp with Crumb Cake. And you'll notice underneath my Stamparatus plate, I've just placed a empty stamp case. I like to do that because it prevents the hinge from kind of bending too far backwards as I'm inking it up and applying pressure in that way. Press it down. Okay, very cool. Now I'm going to clean off the stamp and we're going to re-ink it with Craft White ink. Now, if I were to stamp with the white ink while the cardstock was lined up in this same red mark, it would go, the white ink would go right over top of where I've already stamped with the Crumb Cake ink, and that's not what I want. I want it to be a little bit off. So I've actually made myself another little mark. I don't know if you can see that little gray pencil mark that's a little bit up and a little bit to the right. So I'm going to line it up there and stamp again. And look what happens. It creates this amazing 3D wood texture effect. Isn't that stunning? It is so simple and yet so effective. And now with this technique in particular, it would be so easy to stamp a whole stack of cards with the Crumb Cake ink, then clean the stamp, and then stamp again with the white craft ink. And the Stamparatus allows you to do that because you know that you're going to be able to line it up perfectly every time without a lot of effort. So that is brilliant. And then we can put this card together. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please drop me a comment below and let me know what you think. And if there's something specific that you're interested in learning about, let me know. Remember that you can purchase all the products shown on my website, inkyfingers.ca, and you'll also find more project tutorials, current promotional details and catalogs, my local workshop schedule, and the sign up for my monthly email newsletter. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, I want to let you know that I have a Facebook page under Inky Fingers Papercrafting where you can join a weekly card sketch challenge and win a prize from me. Now, if you do place an order, please use the current Hostess code, which you can find on my website, because everyone who uses that code is going to get a free gift from me. And if you'd like to earn your own Hostess rewards, all you need to do is place an order of over $200 or contact me to start planning your own virtual or in-home party. Drop me a line for more details. Have a great day, everyone, and happy stampin'. Bye.